Hey everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner and I have a very special returning guest in the corner. Would you like to unveil your not so secret identity?
What's up, everybody? Bryce Papenbrook here.
And we're very happy to talk to you, not only because we like catching up with you, but we like having the Banana Man back.
Oh yeah, Mr. Banana Man.
But everybody in the IRC is, pretty excited about this. They gave me a ton of stuff to bring up to make sure that I touched upon everything. So I'm going to get right to it. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about was a little game that everybody's playing on 3DS called Fire Emblem.
Yes, yes.
And you get to play a character, and I sadly I haven't played Fire Emblem, so I had to do my research here. But you get to play a character that looks absolutely adorable, but he's not so adorable.
Oh, but he is so adorable and he loves blood. Yay, blood! I get to play Henry the Dark Mage.
That must have been fun to, have a character that doesn't look anything like he acts.
Yeah, I mean he's always smiling and yet so dark.
And you can, get with him if that's your choice for the
Oh
female
yeah, yeah.
avatars.
Exactly.
If blood is your thing as well as somebody who's kind of cute, there you go. It's perfect.
He's your man.
Well, now, have you gotten a lot of fan reaction from that game? Because a lot of my friends who are playing it, they're replaying it over and over again to get with as many people as possible.
Yeah, yeah, and I've uh recently been doing more conventions, which is awesome. And I've had a lot of fans of Henry come up and want to chat with me about him, and it's awesome. Yeah, he's a great character. Great character.
I just would think it would be so, nice to go into a booth and be like, yay, blood and death
Yeah,
and gore. Like, that would just be like the best therapy instead of, doing reaction sounds or yelling about death and things like that.
yeah. It was a lot of fun during that session. Just to, I mean, I wasn't quite expecting to pop in and be so cheery and say such dark things. You know, I'll love you until you lose all the blood in your body. Yay! It's fun. It's fun.
Nightmare fuel right there, folks. Somebody's gonna go to sleep tonight and have a nightmare about that. Henry standing there over their bed. That's not creepy at
Or
all.
or it could be a fantastic dream.
That's
Depends who
true.
you're dating.
That is very true. Well, some people are dating your character, so they must be into that. And the other game that people are playing quite a bit because it came out a little bit more recently than Fire Emblem is the new Shin Megami Tensei game.
Yes, yes. And
Now, there are conflicting reports about who you voice, so could you perhaps clear that up for us?
I am Issachar. Um, he is a friend of the protagonist, and um, he goes down a darker path throughout the game. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but um, in these games, characters tend to get quite dark, and it was fun to get this gnarly. I mean, he gets pretty gnarly by the end.
That sounds like a lot of character development and depth, though, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for any of the people asking me in the live chat, you're not the protagonist because apparently you're marked as the protagonist on a ton of websites online.
And maybe that mistake happened because they had a preview of the game, which I believe was played at E3, and the first voice you hear is my voice. But I think that's because the interaction with my character first happens right at the start of the game. I'm not positive on this. I haven't played, but um, my voice just happened to be the first one in that promo. So maybe that's where the confusion came along, or maybe someone guessed, I was playing that character and before I officially announced it, and people thought that was actually what happened. Uh,
Hey, it happens. We've had confusing things like that happen on the show where it's like, I voiced this character, and then the game comes out, and then it's not that character, it's a different character.
yeah.
I mean, stuff happens. It's a hectic life, I understand.
but I am Issachar.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your character? And obviously, you said he goes on a really, gnarly path. But before he gets to the gnarly part, is he carefree? Is he, helpful? Is he gung ho?
Yeah, he's sort of a very positive guy, and he wants to become a samurai, and he dedicates himself to reaching this goal, um, and it doesn't really work out for him, unfortunately, um, and so he turns to darker things to help him reach what he wants. Um, and you'll have to play to see what happens.
Well, obviously, we don't want to spoil anything. And as I said, a ton of people in our live chat are playing that game right now. And I know quite a few people are on the staff playing it. So if I spoil it for them, they'll probably hunt me down with like pitchforks. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah, definitely let's not spoil anything for folks out there.
But the nice thing, because it seems like you're in all these video games that our audience is excited about, is you said it on Twitter, and I'm not exactly sure if you can talk about it, but Danganronpa isn't.
Yeah, I think it's Danganronpa or Danganronpa. I don't know exactly how to say it. But yeah, I got to work on that Trigger Happy Havoc. And I play Negi, who's the main sort of character that the story is focused on, and it's that was a lot of fun. And another one where I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but folks are going to die in this game. It's going to happen. They're going to die. And I'm going to figure out who made other people die and who did it. So as I was recording this, there were these big chunks of lines, maybe 80 to 100 lines of putting the pieces together and solving things in almost a courtroom style and pointing people out and questioning people. And it was so much fun because it was like I was seeing the story come together right in front of me as I was piecing it together as Negi. So it's it was an awesome experience. I've never worked on something where I have these just massive blocks of lines together and the story just comes, so clear without looking at picture. Um,
And as a voice actor too, you never get really a chance to get a big portion of the story sometimes. So that must have been helpful too.
yeah, and sometimes we bounce around. We'll do some battle lines, and then we'll do chapter 10. We'll do a block of lines there, and then we'll go back to chapter 1 and pick something up, and then go just sort of jump around in the story. But with this, it was moving in order, so it was like watching a movie in my head. Like it was so much fun, and it's really intense.
I'm super excited for that game. Like, I know that they're streaming the anime on Funimation right now, and I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible because I was like, I really want this game. Am I going to import it? And then the announcement came about, and I was like, oh God, now I have to avoid all the anime spoilers, even though they kill different people or something along those lines.
Yeah, I started watching the anime and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those shows where if you watch one, it's gonna be tough to wait a full week to see another one. So I was gonna kind of put that on hold and watch some other stuff first, and then go back and try to watch it in one group. Um, but yeah, I'm excited about that one. That's it's really cool.
And I've heard the game described in really different, unique ways too. Like it's Phoenix Wright meets Saw. So that's right up my alley.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was described to me also. And that's a little bit of what I imagined. I mean, I can see how Saw would be in there, and I totally get the Phoenix Wright, comparison. Um, so that sounds pretty accurate.
I'm just super excited that this got a uh, US release, which is going to happen in early 2014 by NIS America for you Vita Bros. So pick up your Vitas. I believe they're not bringing over a PSP version. I think it's just Vita. So,
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on details. All I was told is 2014 and that I could talk about it, which is pretty awesome because I have some other things for later this year and 2014 that I can't mention, unfortunately, but I can tell you I'm excited about them. That's about it.
well, I understand how you feel. We were kind of surprised to see, a ton of voice actors announcing who they play on Twitter and other things like that. So it's nice to see the company being like, yeah, you could talk about it to a certain degree because we always actually complain about you guys not being able to talk about it until after the game is out. Even if your voice sounds the same or somebody's confirmed you somewhere, and we're like, we wish that they could promote it in some way. So it's nice to see that you're able to do that.
Yeah, it's really cool of them to allow us to talk about it. Because I know I was really excited to be a part of this project, and a lot of other actors were really excited about their characters because there's such interesting characters in this game. Um, I mean, you'll have to go and see each one and how they sort of establish this, perfect kind of character. Um, and I know people were just excited about it and just ready to start talking right, as they were working on it. So
Well, I'm hopefully it drummed up more interest in the game and more people are going to go out and buy it.
yeah, let's hope. Let's hope.
And for all the listeners out there, we're going to take a short break here on 91.8 The Fan, but don't go anywhere because our special guest isn't. We'll tie him to a chair, it's fine. So keep it tuned to your favorite station where we play everything you want and nothing you don't. Hey, everybody out there, you're still tuned to 91.8 The Fan, and my special guest is still here. No tie chairing is what I'm going to call it. Roping tie to the chair. We didn't have to do it. I'm so
I'm
used to
I'm
doing
lucky
it. It was weird. It was just
lucky I
odd.
didn't have to get tied down this time.
Yeah. He learned from last time. But for the listeners out there, I know that there's a big project that you're working on because everyone and their mom is still freaking out about this show. And now it's on Toonami. And it just happens to be a little show called Sword Art Online.
Yes, yes, SAO. It is epic. So epic. And DVD and Blu-ray are out today, if you didn't know.
Somebody needs
So
to go to Right Stuff and go buy that.
yes, definitely. Um, and I play Kirito, of course, the the main dude. Um, it's such a great show.
Now, I kind of feel bad because when everybody was watching that show when it was airing, I was on Tumblr just minding my own business, and I was like, from one point to another, they grew elf ears, and I had no idea what was going on. And so someone was like, "Can you explain the entire plot to Sword Art Online to me based on what you've seen on Tumblr?" And then I did, and then I was right, which was really surprising. But I did think that the second game or the game with the elf ears was a
Uh-huh.
separate season. I didn't know that they were combined together. That was my big wrong point.
Yeah, it's all one season, one storyline through two games. There's two arcs, so to say.
Spoilers, they got elf ears at one point. Sorry.
Yes.
Dang
Sorry, guys. Elf ears.
it. Well, at least I didn't spoil any
They're
deaths
they're
or anything.
they're actually fairy ears.
Well, they look very elfish. I'm just saying. I know I've seen some with fairy wings and things like that, but either way, uh, recording this show, did you know how popular it was?
Well, I'd heard about the show actually before I auditioned for it. Um, a friend of mine said you should check this anime out, and I kind of looked into it. And when the audition for this character came in, I recognized it right away, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is a good one. It's right up my alley. I gotta knock this out of the park." And fortunately, I did, and they cast me. They saw it the same way that I did, and yeah, just such an awesome experience to be able to play this kind of character. He's gnarly, really gnarly.
What I think is really interesting about the character, and hopefully I'm not treading too bad into spoiler zone, is the fact that he has a very solid relationship with the female protagonist. You know, it's not so much like it's not very anime typical. It's very like almost like a married relationship.
Actually, I mean it is a true love story, and they, even though they're in this virtual universe, what they feel and the way that they act is very real. And the director Alex and the client Aniplex, they wanted me to act in a very real way. They didn't want it to sound like anime. Um, so it was nice to be able to pull back and try to get a realistic performance into a cartoon. Um, and you'll see when you watch it. I mean, it's sometimes you forget you're watching anime.
Well, that'll be a plus, especially for a mainstream audience that might not know about Sword Art Online, and for the cult audience because it's airing on Toonami, and that's just a major, thumbs up from everybody.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Saturday nights are a lot of fun to stay up and watch. I got the West Coast stream, so I see all the folks on Twitter watching the show, and I see all their reactions a few hours before I get to watch it. But it's super cool that people can stay up and see this, that a broader audience is able to see our work.
It's definitely a nice thing to have. I think Toonami has definitely, for it coming back, has like opened the floodgates a little, so I can leave it on, TV in one of the other rooms and let my brother watch it. My brother's 11 years older than me. Before somebody thinks that I let my 9-year-old brother or something watch it, or like I can show my mom, oh, this is who I talked to today, or this is this or that, and I can kind of get them into it a little bit, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I hope Toonami continues to bring new shows on and continues to get people excited about anime and um, continues to flourish. Because it's something I used to watch growing up, and it's awesome that it's back.
Without Toonami, I don't think I would be as hardcore of an anime fan as I am. And by hardcore, I mean I've watched Sailor Moon 13 times, which is totally hardcore. And I know that one character from Dragon Ball Z. No, I'm kidding. But I think for a lot of people, Toonami has a lot of nostalgia factor, and I think they're handling it in a really good way to where it still pleases the older fans, but it pleases newer fans as well.
Definitely, definitely.
Now, for all the listeners out there, are there any other projects that you're working on that you want them to know about? Anything that we forgot to mention?
Yes, Blue Exorcist, the movie. Um, for all you folks that watched Blue Exorcist on Neon Alley or have recently got the DVD or Blu-ray, Blue Exorcist, the movie, is coming to some theaters. And this is definitely a movie you want to see in theaters. If you can make it, if you're in one of those special cities that gets a showing, definitely get a ticket and go. Because yeah, this is gonna be gnarly in theaters.
Well, and you play a character that's very interesting. He has a lot of layers to him too, and so I think that's worth it all on its own.
Yeah, I play Reno Kumara, the son of Satan, and
How often do you get to say that in a normal conversation?
it's it's super cool that I can just go, yeah, I'm the son of Satan, no big deal.
It's a good day.
Yeah, I can make some blue flames appear. I control them. It's kind of cool. I'm hiding my tail right now.
Well, for the fans out there that want to see the movie, they can head on over to blueexorcist.com/the movie for showings. A lot in California, some in Texas, Ohio, Illinois, and New York, from what I can see. But you should check to see if you can get to any of those.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. Great story.
And you get a
Great
free
story.
poster with a movie ticket.
Yes, awesome posters.
Last time I went to a movie and got something out of the movie was when I went to the Pokemon movies and they gave you the little cards. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know they need to have more of these movies in theaters because it's so awesome to sit down and just sort of watch this stuff on a big screen with, proper audio so you can hear all the little nuances and everything that goes into these. It really makes a difference. Um, I was fortunate enough to see Sword Art, the first two episodes of Sword Art Online, at the premiere at a convention in Seattle, and they had it up on the big screen, and the room was packed, and there was so much energy there, and it was just so awesome. I mean, it was such a cool experience. Um, so definitely take advantage of seeing this stuff on the big screen, especially Blue Exorcist.
And you can hear other people's reactions too. And I think that really, when you leave the movie and you know other people liked it, kind of gives you a nice little, I was a part of that feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, is there anything else that, that you're working on that you can talk about, or anything else that recently came out you want the listeners to know about?
Um, well, I can tell you about some of my appearances coming up.
That would be
Uh,
perfect. Then they could stalk you in real life and jump at you from the bushes. In a
yay!
nice way.
So coming this weekend, I'm going to Anime Fest Orlando in Florida. So that's August 16th to 18th. At the end of this month, I'm in Sacramento at SAC Anime, August 29th to September 1st. Then going to Nandesukan NDK in Denver, September 13th to 15th. Then back to Florida, ShadowCon in October, October 4th to 6th, and IzumiCon in Oklahoma, November 1st to 3rd. So doing a lot more appearances, and that is so awesome. That means people want to see me and hang out with me. So I love it. Anytime, I get an offer to do these conventions, like I'm super excited. Like I jump at it because they're so much fun. Like I've only had fantastic experiences. So I'm excited to be able to go to all these places I haven't been before.
I have to agree. Just being able to travel and go meet, new people and see what the area has to offer, and just the excitement at conventions. It's very much like a theme park for anime folks.
Yeah, definitely. And for the actors, it's being in a booth and recording something, and when you're done, you just kind of go home, and only a few people are there when you work. You don't get like stage actors get, there's no applause. And I mean, it's kind of cool to see like, oh, you actually saw what I was doing. You enjoyed it. Like that's awesome. So it's a cool experience.
Well, for the fans out there who want to, stalk you on the internet and tell you how awesome you are and various anime, is there any place they can do that? Do you Facebook? Do you Twitter?
Yes. So I have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/actor Bryce Papenbrook. Um, I'm pretty recent to Twitter, and it's just my name at Bryce Papenbrook. I also have an Instagram where I'll put up, random pictures of my dogs and stuff. And that's Bryce Papenbrook also. And working on a new website as soon as I have some time in the office, brycepapenbrook.com. So you can definitely find me on the internet.
Well, you're already on the way there with the puppies on Instagram. I'm sure you'll get famous soon. Internet famous, you do it with puppies and kitties. That's the way
There,
it's done.
yep, exactly. That's how you build it up.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there? Any words of wisdom, dating advice, weather forecasts?
um, hit me up online. I'm hoping I can mention what I'm working on today. So hopefully there'll be some Twitter action later today where I can talk about the project. I caught wind of some other actors doing that, so I might be able to. I'm gonna try if I can. So hit me up on Twitter and yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool if I can talk about this stuff.
Exciting. That means Chris will be stalking your Twitter all day,
Woohoo!
as per usual. Uh, but no, it was nice to catch up with you and get the lowdown on your latest roles. So thank you very much for visiting us again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hope to talk to you guys soon about all the other exciting stuff, coming up soon.
Definitely. And for any of the listeners out there that missed any of this interview, don't fret. It'll be up on the website within the next few days. So keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't. Coming up next is Lisa with Crossing Field.